We are almost there. It's Wednesday of Holy Week, and it's important to note that we're just covering some of the highlights of Holy Week. Because, well, there's really a lot that happens, and so it's a lot to focus on in one go. So today's focus, though, is on Peter. In John, we know that Jesus washed Peter's feet, and Peter thinks that he's not worthy to have his teacher wash his feet. He's, of course, is caught off guard, he's surprised, and he's concerned that Jesus would do this. Fleming Rutledge, she is a priest, she said about this act that the primary meaning of foot washing is that the Son of God is stooping down from his heavenly throne to wash us clean from our transgressions, that the Lord of the universe is preparing to undergo utmost humiliation in order to purify us from the contamination of sin, that the eternal Word, which was the beginning of God, has become flesh, not only to dwell among us, full of grace to love us and to serve us to the outermost limit, even to the death on the cross. Now, of course, following this act, the Passover meal, which we'll talk about the Last Supper tomorrow. But Jesus shares his prediction of Peter denying him 3 times before the rooster crows. We often wonder how, why, and we want better for Peter. But we have to think about this in this moment. When Jesus made this prediction, Peter was sitting at the table for the Passover meal, and he fed Peter anyway. That is grace. That is mercy. Perhaps we need to share that with others. Maybe we should be repeating this phrase in our head, love them anyway. Jesus loved Peter anyway and gave him acceptance and grace. And fortunately for Peter, his story doesn't end in denial. Peter, of course, goes on to be a great foundation of the church. But our story doesn't end either in denial. Our story doesn't end in those moments of not living like Jesus. Our story continues, and only through Christ do we find redemption. But here's the real big kicker. It's the truth not only for our own messy selves, but also for our neighbors, even those neighbors we might not like. But God tells us and shows us how we can do this. And God says, love them anyway. Don't we all want that? We want God to say, I love you anyway. Despite anything that you're going through, that is not who you are, because you are a child of mine, and I love you. So let's live in that grace and find that redemption, not only for ourselves, but those that we encounter. Amen.